What is up, guys? Today we have a short video on a diagnosis for a wheel bearing, and this wheel bearing method I'm going to show you on how to diagnose if you have a bad wheel bearing is simply just to lift up the car, and we're going to go ahead and I'll show you exactly what we're going to do here so we can find out if you have a bad wheel bearing or a wheel bearing going bad. Because on this particular truck that I have here, it's a Dodge Ram 1500 V8. So with that said, if you guys want to follow my next video, which is going to be replacing the hub or the wheel bearing, they are a component that is made together. So if you need to replace the wheel bearing, you can replace the hub as well because they're the exact same part, or vice versa. If you need to replace your hub, you're also going to be replacing your wheel bearings as well. So I will go ahead and show you how to replace your wheel bearings on your Dodge Ram early 2000s, I believe it is 98, 99, 2000 and 2001 if I'm not mistaken. So I'll have a video on that, but let's go ahead and get you guys set up on the tripod and I will get you guys showing so you can go ahead and diagnose it before you take it to the shop and have them charge you $1 million. Just kidding. They're only going to charge you a couple grand or a couple hundred depending on where you go and what vehicle you have. So essentially, let me see if I can get this from a side view. So essentially you're going to shake the wheel. In this case, you're going to shake the wheel up and down, and I'll go ahead and demonstrate that now. So when you shake the wheel, you have your left and right, which is going to pertain to your tie rods, but we're not worried about tie rods. But in this case, this is more than a tie rod. You see that movement? I'd say it's about a ½ inch of movement left and right. Normally when you have a bad tie rod, you get a similar symptom, but you can look at the tie rod and see the tie rod move. But in this case, it's the wheel bearing. And the way to tell your wheel bearing is not actually left and right, but up and down, because you shouldn't have any play at all whatsoever up and down. So we'll go ahead and we'll do that now. So I'm basically just going to go like this to the wheel, and you're going to see how much this actually moves. Do you guys see? This is more than an inch of play. That is because the wheel bearing is shot. And if I drove this truck any longer, then the wheel probably would have fallen off the vehicle. That is a possibility. So I stopped driving it because I was driving at maybe 50, 60, 70 miles an hour, and I was getting a very vicious shake. So I would drive less than 50 miles an hour, and then I just stopped driving it overall on the highway. And that was the reason I lifted it up, and I was like, let me check what's going on. And just a simple test of lifting up the vehicle and shaking the tire and rim will do you justice. So again, this is a wheel bearing, and you can clearly see that. I can show you as well from the front. So let's see if I can get a good look in there. So if you look on the caliper and everything, you'll see the movement. Get you a good view right there. The whole caliper and everything moves. So that is definitely a wheel bearing. And then you start to get a screeching. So normally when the bearings are shot, you get screeching. That's more of a brake pad touching the rotor, but at higher speeds, you'll start to hear squeaking or squealing, and that's basically because the wheel bearing is grinding internally. So I'll go ahead. This is a very bad case of a wheel bearing. Just take note of that. So now we're going to go ahead and show you a wheel bearing starting to go bad. So again, I'm going to give you that side view, and you're not going to see as much play in this one, but pay attention because this one does have movement as well. So see, very subtle. You probably won't see this in the video or notice it as much, But me being a mechanic, I know that the wheel bearing's starting to go bad, and that's because that side started to go bad. So when the wheel bearing starts to go bad, that bad as the passenger side is, now you have both the wheels. They're not aligned straight, so now it's messing with your alignment, because that wheel is actually, when you're driving, the wheel is going in different directions. So the wheel's going like this, and this wheel's trying to account for the change on the right, so the left is starting to get all the resistance, and all the pressure is starting to go on the good side, so then the good side goes bad. And that's essentially what happened here. And I had new tires put on, so that these tires there, you can see thread wear on the inside, so your tire will start to show some wear as well if you pay close attention. The inside thread starts to get uneven, should I say. Over here is nice and even, but when I feel this side of the tire, there's little ridges, and I'll see if I can show you that in the video. So let's see if I can show you. Yeah, you can't really tell, but right here, that's a little lip. You can see right here, it's like starting to lift. So they all get kind of raised in a sense, and you can feel it more than you can see it, but essentially that's what it'll do. It's kind of like tie rod wear, but in this case it is wheel bearing wear. But let's show you again one more time. So I don't know if you caught that in the video, but this wheel bearing is also starting to go bad. So that's basically how you diagnose a wheel bearing. This goes for any vehicle. This could be a dirt bike, cars, ATVs, trucks. It does not matter. If your car is or vehicle is equipped with a wheel bearing, this is a solid method to test out if your wheel bearing is going bad. So thanks again for watching this video. I hope you learned something, and I hope this is helpful for you in diagnosing your vehicle before you fix it, or even before you take it to the shop. That way, you know, you can go ahead and quote your prices for a repair, and make sure you're getting a fair price, because you know some shops do gouge you for wheel bearing replacements. It is intensive, and it is I would say a medium job difficulty for replacing a wheel bearing in this particular vehicle. There's other vehicles like Honda Accords, Honda Civics, you know, cars, where you'll have to press the bearing out of the hub. In this case, like I said, it's one component, so it's going to be a lot easier fix, but the replacement and the cost of repair is still going to be pretty significant. But again, if you guys liked this video and found it very informative, I'd appreciate you if you give me a thumbs up, even throw a comment down below. We appreciate you checking in, and you guys have a great day.